tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be affiliate.
Before diving into what Jeffrey Epstein's inner circle was reportedly involved in, before examining the coded emails, the chef tied to a place openly named the Cannibal, and the 330 gallons of sulfuric acid purchased right after his charges, you need to realize that a single individual has been warning about this network for more than 30 years.
Yeah, I was surrounded by them. They were everywhere like vultures.
And each time he spoke out, they labeled him unstable. They dismissed him as washed up. They branded him a liar.
It's an 8-armed octopus. And if you take just out, that arm will grow back. You have to
8 limbs, a single head. And what that head was reportedly involved in on a secluded island in the Caribbean, recorded in federal emails, supported by DOJ disclosures, and detailed in handwritten notes from victims, is something that should make every viewer pause and ask one thing. Why did it take so long for anyone to pay attention? Let's return to the start. Not 2020, not 2015, going all the way back to the 1980s. Corey Feldman was a young star at the height of Hollywood's golden era. The Goonies, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, Gremlins. If you grew up in that decade, his face was everywhere. He was the child who symbolized something untouched, youth on screen, innocence packaged and presented to millions of families who had no clue what he was going through. The second those cameras stopped filming,
there was a circle of older men, and they all had either their own power or connections to great power that surrounded themselves around this group of kids.
Ties to immense power. Let that line settle for a moment, because Corey Feldman isn't talking about a handful of separate predators. He's pointing to a system, a structured, shielded, self-sustaining network where access to children was handled like a commodity, and those enabling that access were rewarded with career growth, industry cover, and silence from every institution that should have shut it down. For years, Feldman attempted to get anyone in the media to take this seriously. He appeared on talk shows. He gave interviews. He urged journalists to follow the trail. And every single time, the system closed in around him.
Thousands of people in Hollywood who have this same information. Why me? Why is it if I don't release the names in the next 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I'm the bad guy? I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and
Consider what that really implies. Thousands of individuals, not dozens, thousands. People who saw the same events, heard the same accounts, were inside the same rooms, and every single one of them remained silent. That's not coincidence. That's not discomfort in social situations. That's a managed system of silence built by people with enough power to destroy careers and reputations, and according to multiple sources, end lives. Feldman eventually did something that almost no one in Hollywood has ever done. He used $1.3 million of his own money he couldn't afford to lose, to create a documentary titled My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys. In that film, he identified names Marty Weiss, John Graham, Alfie Hoffman, Dominic Brazia, Charlie Sheen. But here's what Feldman himself has said again and again since that documentary was released. Those names were only one arm. Jim Caviezel, the actor who stepped away from his mainstream career to expose child trafficking, has been outlining the same structure Feldman described, but from another perspective, a broader one.
It's an 8-armed octopus. And if you take just out, that arm will grow back. You have to take the
8 limbs. What Corey Feldman was revealing was the Hollywood side, the one that targeted child actors, that used casting as a hunting tool, that shielded its members through industry loyalty and financial control. But Jim Caviezel's point is that this side doesn't function on its own. It links to a political side, a financial side, a media side, and according to documents now held at the federal level, an island side, Little St. James. Jeffrey Epstein's private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The location that, according to satellite imagery, DOJ released photos, and multiple survivor accounts, was designed from the ground up to prevent escape. Passports taken, flight crews compensated, airport staff paid to ignore what was happening. This wasn't a party location. This was a controlled setting, and what was taking place inside that setting goes far deeper than what most people are willing to confront. When the Epstein records were unsealed, the public expected a few well-known names tied to a trafficking operation. What they found was something that pushed even the most doubtful observers to rethink what they believed about how power actually operates in this country. Here is where it turns disturbing. In a very precise, documented way, analysts who examined hundreds of thousands of emails released by the Department of Justice uncovered something that extended far beyond trafficking claims. Epstein and his associates were communicating through a system of food-based coded terms, and the context in which those terms were used makes no logical sense if taken at face value. Beef jerky, white tuna, pizza, grape soda. On the surface, those are grocery items. In the context of these emails, when paired with the surrounding details, the amounts being discussed, the way they were being stored, chilled, moved, they read as something entirely different. That is not a dinner invitation.
There were emails from people, redacted names again, saying, hey, I have 6 to 8 pounds of jerky in my freezer. I'm not sure what to do with it. Mm-hmm. There were emails of, I need more jerky. I'm going to send it to the lab.
LB delivered to a lab. The identities linked to those emails removed. Every single one. And then there's the chef, Francis Darby, the individual whose name appears in emails with Jeffrey Epstein discussing recipes, amounts, preparation techniques, and storage details for items being handled on Little St. James Island.
The chef that was making the jerky, that was sending recipes, that was on the island, was Francis Darby. Who's that? Francis Darby owns the restaurant Cannibal.
There was a 2012 email from Jeffrey Epstein to Chef Francis Darby on record asking about the handling of frozen white tuna and the preparation of specific recipes to be completed on the island. Darby at that time owned and ran a meat-focused restaurant in New York and Los Angeles called, without any irony, the Cannibal. Now that restaurant served standard food. It was a legitimate business, and no one is claiming it literally served what the name suggests. But when the owner of a place called the Cannibal is exchanging coded food preparation emails with Jeffrey Epstein about island recipes, storing items by the pound, and sending batches to labs, the name stops feeling like clever branding. And here's the email that investigators continue to revisit. Subject line, jerky recipe, dated December 21st, 2012.
Hi, Steve Hansen, no relation. On Jeffrey's Island is requesting the latest beef jerky recipe as He has asked her to try and make some. He says the last batch that you made tasted different.
The reply mentions the previous method Francis was using and confirms that someone on Little St. James Island was going to try the preparation themselves. They're not referring to real beef jerky. Everyone who has examined these emails in depth, investigators, journalists, commentators, has come to the same conclusion. The wording, the amounts, the logistics, the lab mentions. None of it aligns with snack food production. So the question becomes, what were they truly preparing, and who was consuming it? To understand that question, you need to understand something about the culture at the very top of the Hollywood and billionaire elite ecosystem. Something that Corey Feldman has been pointing toward for years, without always having the words to explain it clearly. There is an obsession documented on record, discussed openly on mainstream television, with youth, with the biological properties of youth, with seeking ways to absorb, transfer, or preserve the vitality associated with being young. And that obsession exists on a spectrum. On the publicly visible side of that spectrum, things that seem unusual but are legal.
This is made from growth hormones of human.
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared.
That took place on daytime television. I guessed applying a skincare product made from human foreskin tissue, and the product being endorsed and promoted to millions of viewers as an anti-aging breakthrough.
I'm sorry, Steve.
You'd have sat up here and squirted somebody's private parts in my damn hair.
The audience laughed. The host reacted with comedic shock, and the product continued to sell. That's the public-facing version of something that becomes far darker the higher you go on the ladder of wealth and power. The mainstream medical community, not fringe researchers, established institutions, has been openly studying compounds taken from young blood, plasma transfer trials, stem cell anti-aging methods, clinical research on whether biological material from younger donors can meaningfully reverse aging, indicators in older recipients. That science is real. It's being funded. It's being studied. What witnesses and investigators describe in the context of Jeffrey Epstein's island network is the version of that science that functions without ethics boards, without consent standards, without any institutional oversight at all.
She believed consumption was transformation, that youth could be taken in, that vitality could be absorbed. She talked about ancient rites, about elites throughout history who understood what the masses didn't.
Ancient practices, elites across history. The claim isn't that this way of thinking is new. The claim, supported by historical records going back centuries, is that certain circles of extreme wealth have always believed they were entitled to access things that ordinary people could not have. And that belief, when it exists in an environment with zero accountability, no law enforcement, and an island specifically designed to prevent escape, produces outcomes that are extremely difficult to comprehend. But it goes beyond treatments and compounds. Much further, among the thousands of documents released by the DOJ, there are journal entries, handwritten notes from a victim, describing experiences on Jeffrey Epstein's properties with a level of precise personal detail that investigators have described as highly credible, specifically because of how closely they match known facts about Epstein's inner circle.
Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Don't speak, she doesn't talk. I can't stop shaking and it's been a week. A decision was made, but I can't tell Jeffrey.
The entry continues by detailing a medical procedure. A doctor, a clinical setting, pain, and then a small head, a small arm, a small foot, and then silence.
Chillingly, there is even a picture of a sonogram on a page with the words, "She is gone and she won't be coming back."
Investigators have described what these journals suggest as a coordinated operation. Victims being used as surrogates, pregnancies being handled on the island, the resulting infants never recorded in any official system. What happened to those infants has not been formally confirmed. But considering everything else documented in these files, the sulfuric acid, the buried remains being examined at Zorro Ranch, the coded emails referencing quantities and labs, the picture that forms is one that should unsettle every person watching this video. 7,000 acres in New Mexico now being excavated. Multiple victims stepping forward, describing being drugged, waking up in what appeared to be medical environments with no memory of how they arrived there, and reporting signs. consistent with organ harvesting.
He ordered 330 gallons of sulfuric acid.
What?
Yes, he ordered 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid to be delivered to the island.
The day after his indictment in 2018, Jeffrey Epstein ordered 330 gallons of sulfuric acid to be sent to the island, 6 55-gallon drums. The first reaction of investigators and commentators who examined that order was the same. You don't request 330 gallons of industrial acid to maintain a desalination facility. And this is where Corey Feldman's warning becomes the thread that ties every part of this together. Because Feldman wasn't only exposing what happened to him, he was warning about a system that functions through silence, enforced silence, bought silence, and in some documented instances, permanent silence.
No one betrays a circle that can
That's the structure. You don't simply attend, you take part. And once you've taken part, your ongoing silence is ensured. Not through loyalty, but through shared implication. Everyone in the room carries the same burden. Everyone in the room has the same reason to protect the secret. This is what Jim Caviezel experienced firsthand when Sound of Freedom, a film about child rescue operations, not tied to any specific celebrity, was effectively blacklisted before release.
Everyone was told, from Rupert Murdoch and Fox to every studio, look, if you touch this thing, you will be out, you will be done. You'll be finished in 3 years.
Every major studio, every major network, not requested, instructed to stay away from a film about rescuing children. Think about what that takes. Think about how many individuals across how many levels of decision-making had to receive and follow that directive for it to work as completely as it did. That's not one bad actor. That's not one executive with a personal motive. That's a coordinated industry-wide reaction to a single film about child trafficking. And when Corey Feldman attempted to premiere his own documentary in March 2020, the streaming platform crashed 15 minutes into the event. Audience members reported seeing the site appear to be interrupted in real time. Whether it was a coordinated attack or simply traffic overload, no one has ever provided a clear answer. What everyone agrees on is that the timing was unusual. Ordinary.
I'm the bad guy. I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and do something about it.
This is a man who has spent 30 years, millions of dollars of his own money, and a massive amount of personal risk trying to get the world to hear something it wasn't ready to hear. And every time he spoke, the machine responded. Here's what is happening right now that shifts the calculus. The names Corey Feldman revealed in his 2020 documentary, Marty Weiss, John Graham. Those names didn't remain in his account. They began appearing in entirely separate investigations. Weiss surfaced again in the Quiet on Set documentary about Nickelodeon. The same network of men Feldman described in the context of his own abuse appeared in the documented abuse of a completely different generation of child actors. Drake Bell, the Nickelodeon generation, the 1980s generation. Different victims, different contexts, different decades, same network.
This week, new accusations coming to light against Cuba Gooding Jr. The allegations come from a former producer for Combs, Rodney Jones. Now, it originally just listed Diddy as far as fault in, but now Gooding is listed as a co-defendant, accusing him of fault as well. According to court filings, the alleged happened on a yacht rented by Combs that went to the U.S. Virgin Islands last January.
The U.S. Virgin Islands, Jeffrey Epstein's territory, now showing up in allegations tied to entirely separate celebrity cases with overlapping geography, overlapping methods, overlapping silence. Every time you pull on one thread, as Corey Feldman has said again and again, 5 more links emerge. So where does this leave us? Corey Feldman spent $1.3 million to tell the world what he knew in 2020. And according to people who have stayed close to him through everything that followed, that documentary was not the full story. It wasn't even near the full story. It was the version of the story he could verify at that moment in time. The information he has been collecting since, the testimonies, the documented links between the Hollywood network he exposed and the broader operation that Epstein was running, that information is still being assembled. According to sources familiar with his ongoing work, what he has now makes what he released in 2020 look like Chapter 1.
I believe it's going to move a lot of whistleblowers to come forward, but not one. In the hundreds, maybe thousands of them worldwide start coming forward and telling the truth of what's really.
And the conditions for that are changing in real time. The Sean Combs investigation has pushed mainstream audiences to face the reality that private parties hosted by powerful celebrities attended by industry gatekeepers can involve organized abuse at a scale most people refused to accept as possible. The Quiet on Set documentary forced a reckoning with what Nickelodeon was doing to children for decades and confirmed names that Corey Feldman had been repeating into the void for years. The Epstein documents continue to be unsealed. Every release brings new names, new connections, new questions. The excavation of Zorro Ranch in New Mexico is still ongoing.
I know that the saints in heaven wish to be on this earth right now because there are far more people on this earth than there's ever been. And there are far more souls to save right now than there ever has ever been.
Whether or not you agree with the spiritual framework behind those words, the facts beneath them are documented. The files are real. The coded emails are real. The sulfuric acid order is real. The journal entries are real. The excavation is real. The survivor accounts are real. That's not a rumor. That's documented information from federal agencies. 300,000 children, and every flight log, every guest list, every redacted name in those DOJ email releases is a potential piece of the answer to where those children ended up and what happened to them. Here's the thing about Corey Feldman that doesn't get said enough. He was right about Weinstein before Weinstein fell. He was right about the Nickelodeon network before Quiet on Set confirmed it. He was right about the culture of protection and silence before the Diddy case made it impossible to deny. He has been right publicly, on record, at enormous personal cost every single time.
Thousands of people in Hollywood who have this same information. Why me? Why is it if I don't release the names in the next 2 months, 6 months, or a year, I'm the bad guy? I'm the victim here. I'm the one who's been abused. I'm the one who's trying to come forward and do something about it.
The question isn't whether Corey Feldman's warnings were valid. The question is how much longer the system that suppressed those warnings can last. Because the beef jerky emails are in federal records. The chef from The Cannibal is in federal records. The sulfuric acid order is in federal records. The journal entries are in federal records. The bodies being searched for at Zorro Ranch are part of a live, ongoing investigation. And Corey Feldman, the kid they called crazy that they laughed off talk show stages. The victim they tried to silence with money and media and industry loyalty. He's still here, still documenting, still building the case, still honoring the promise he made to his best friend.
It's an 8-armed octopus. And if you take just out, that arm will grow back. You have to take
It's the 8-armed octopus. And if you remove just one part of it, that limb will grow back. You have to take it all. The arms are being removed one by one. Weinstein, Epstein, Nickelodeon, Diddy. Every exposure makes the next one easier. Every document release makes the silence harder to sustain. The head is still out there, but the walls are starting to crack. Stay locked in. And because this story is nowhere near finished,